Hi, everyone. Jessie here from parkbench.com. Today, I have the pleasure of interviewing Denise Davis, local real estate agent with Scout Realty and sponsor and ambassador of a local community website all about Springhill, Thompson Station, and the College Grove areas of Tennessee. Thanks so much for joining me today, Denise.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Really looking forward to getting to know you a little bit more. So why don't we start by talking about why did you become a real estate agent and how long have you been in the industry?
I've been almost 13 years as a real estate agent, and I moved here years ago from Russellville, Alabama. Moved here as a singer-songwriter. Did a lot of, that, believe me, that was my whole life. And then I thought, I better get serious about this. I don't want to go back to Alabama broke. So I started getting interested in real estate, and I made a little money as a songwriter. So I thought, okay, I can take this check and blow it, or I can do something sensible. So I bought a condo, and then I thought, wow, this is great. So I thought, man, I need to keep this up. And so over the years, I realized just how valuable that investment has been. And so you get to a certain point in your life, and you're going, okay, I have done the music business as long as I want to, and I wanted to move on to something else. And I would travel around the country because I was singing and speaking a lot in churches and other things like that. And so I would always get the real estate segment in the paper. And so I thought, I must be interested in this. So I came back and got my real estate license and started just realizing you're not selling a house, you're selling a home, and you're helping somebody make their dream come true. And it's almost like you become part of their family. And it's been a blessing to me. I've enjoyed every minute of it.
That's so amazing. It's obvious you're passionate about what you do, so that's great.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. And going from being a singer-songwriter into the real estate industry is a really cool shift.
Well, it's interesting because I work a lot with a lot of young people that are moving into town to get in the music business. So I'm always like their mother figure for a while. I'm like, okay, here's what you need to do. Here's what you don't need to do. Or their mothers will call and say, my child's come to Vanderbilt, or my child's doing this. Can you help them find a safe place to live? And of course, inevitably, they want to go to where you go. But, so I just kind of feel like Mother Hubbard then too. I said, they say, is this safe? I go, I can give you a website. You can check this out. Give this to your mom. So
that's amazing.
So sometimes I get to be, I do a lot of hand holding.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. Well, and you have the experience for it. So that's awesome.
It's really been a good thing to have. And, that I can meet people easily because I love it when people come into town. I get to show off my town. I get to show off what we have to offer. So I love working with out-of-town buyers who come in, and we have a bunch of those. So it's been great.
That's great. So what do you think it is that sets you apart as a realtor?
I work with a company called Scout Realty. Mm-hmm. Scout has a different business plan, actually, where instead of us having a flat percentage to list your house, we have a flat fee. And so say we have $5,000, and it's full service. I use same professional photographers, same marketing people, so I pay for all that. Or we have $7,500, which is a little extra, so you need some more stuff because your property is a little bit more unique. Or if you've got a 200-acre farm, which we have a lot of those around here, you might need the drones, you might need all this kind of stuff. And then with that $10,000, we pay for pre-appraisal, pre-inspection, make sure they're pre-approved. So all the contingencies of that contract are totally taken away. So no one can back out. And if somebody's leaving town to go start in another company somewhere else in another state, they're desperate to make sure that sale goes through. So that's what we offer. We offer something that's just different. Mm-hmm. And we're helping you to keep your equity. And it makes me feel good when I can do that, because I know people have lived in their houses for 20 years. They think, oh, we've built all this equity up. And then they go to closing and they're going, what? So we're trying to be a service to the customer. It's customer based for us. And not that it's not for everyone, but I'm just saying that we feel that's the best way to serve our customers.
Yeah, of course. That sounds like a really, really great way.
It is. It's been nice to be able to offer that to people.
That's amazing. So obviously with 13 years in the industry, I'm sure you've had some stories. What is one of your more memorable experiences with working with clients?
have one that still touches my heart every time I tell it or think about it. When I'm having the worst day in real estate or anything, I think of this story. And I had a seller, a husband and wife who were friends of mine. They had this gorgeous 6,000 square foot house on 28 acres in a very small area of Middle Tennessee that didn't have a lot of those. So therefore, it was kind of an unusual property to say the least. So it was taking a little bit to get get the house sold. It was driving me crazy. Well, one day I get a call from a little couple, first-time buyers. They wanted to have land. They wanted to see this house. They said it was the most beautiful house they'd ever seen. So they come, I meet them there. We go, I'm showing them the house. We go to the master bedroom. Well, next to the window, looking out over the woods, it's just beautiful setting, was this gorgeous rocker, and it had an Afghan on it. Well, the little girl who was, I call her a little girl, this young girl that was looking at the house, she grabs her husband's arm and starts crying. And I'm thinking, I don't know if that means they like it or not. I can't figure that one out. I've never had this happen. Mm-hmm. So we go out, and she's standing on the porch, and she goes, would you mind asking the seller of this house where she got the Afghan? I said, okay. Mm-hmm. So I call my seller, and I go, hey, Kathy, quick question. Where did that Afghan on the rocker come from? And she goes, well, it doesn't go with the house. I said, I didn't say that. She says, that was my dad's. The nurse he had at hospice gave it to him. I said, okay. So I call the girl and her husband that were looking at the house. I tell her, I said, it was an Afghan given to my seller's dad when he was in hospice. She starts crying again. I'm thinking, what is this? She goes, I'm a hospice nurse. And so she said, what is his name? I told her his name. And she goes, I was his nurse, and he was my patient, and I gave him the Afghan. So,
oh my goodness.
Then the husband gets involved. He starts getting excited. He goes, and the funny thing is, Denise, 2 weeks ago, she walked in one morning at breakfast and said, the house we're going to buy that will be our dream house will be a house. I just had this dream. And the dream said the house has something to do with one of your past patients. Well, then I start crying.
Oh, my goodness.
I know. So I had the joy of introducing the nurse to my seller, who was the daughter, at closing. And talk about, everybody was crying. The tears were just flying.
I'm like, I'm getting teary just hearing this.
I know. And I said, the only thing that makes me mad, Kathy, is your daddy was holding this whole thing up the whole time, waiting for Stephanie, the nurse, to get there. So every time, like I said, when I'm having a rough day, I think that was something that helped make somebody's dream come true. And they have a new child there at the house, the buyers, the nurse and her husband, they have a new baby. He's built a house on the property for his mom. So it's just worked out to be this beautiful story. And then Kathy and her husband, I sold them a condo in Franklin downtown. And Kathy says, I wake up happy every day. So I can't beat that one. That's the best story I've got.
Wow. That's incredible. Thank you so much for sharing that. That's such an amazing story. Wow. Wow. So if we talk about this area that you're in Tennessee, like, why do you love this area? Why did you choose this for your area you want to live and work?
Okay. I used to live downtown Nashville. Thought I'd always be a town girl. And then eventually it got to be kind of, Nashville's the it city now. So in the summertime, when all the tourists come, we love it. But by the same token, it gets a little difficult to get around. So I had shown houses in this area and sold many houses down here. Best friend moved down here. So we kind of knew, and I was down here in this area, Franklin, Thompson Station, Springhill, College Grove, all the time selling houses. And I just fell in love with it. I thought the peace you just feel down there is just amazing. Plus you get a lot more for your house. You get a lot more house for your money down here. So I knew that as well. And your school systems are phenomenal here. And we do have still a lot of locally owned businesses, which are so precious, because in Nashville, they were kind of getting eaten up over the years. You know, just mom and pops were kind of going by the wayside. So we still have a lot of that here. And it's just a peaceful, affordable, nice area. You just feel, when I'm downtown, or uptown Nashville, I guess I should say, I was there earlier today. As soon as I step foot in this house and in this area, I just go, you know, it's just a great place to be.
Nice. That sounds super lovely. And obviously you can tell that you're passionate.
Come visit anytime.
I love it. That's great. So it's clear why you've sponsored this area and why you're running this local community website that really is all about supporting local and supporting the community.
Mhm.
So why do you think it is so important to support the community and to shop local?
I grew up in a small town, kind of like a Mayberry. It was a town of 8,000 people when I was there, Russellville, Alabama. And I spent many Saturdays sitting at the counter at Bradford Drugstore. And everything revolved around local businesses downtown. And it was the most precious way to grow up. And then later in the years, and I have no problem with big box stores, we all need them, but that came to Russellville. And when that came to town, everything went to the bypass. And
Right.
poor little downtown area and all the mom and pops were just stuck. And so they are still in the process today of trying to rebuild the downtown of my hometown. And my mother's a real estate broker down there, and she has her company is downtown Russellville, Alabama. And we both talk, we just go, we have to support our local businesses because we don't want them to go away. I
Yeah.
mean, that's just what makes us special. That's what makes a town special. And
Yeah,
I
of
like going
course.
into a store and everybody knowing who you are. They know hey, good to see you, Denise. How's everybody going? How's your husband and dog? That's nice. I mean, that is precious. And that's what I like about supporting local businesses.
I love it. That's so great. Well, this has been really wonderful. I do really
Oh,
appreciate you taking the time to chat with us today. Um,
thank you.
Once again, to everyone, this was Denise Davis, a real estate agent with Scout Realty, and the sponsor and ambassador for this local community website all about Springhill, Thompson Station, and College Grove. Now, if you have a local business and you want to be featured, be sure to reach out to Denise today, and you can check out one of her websites at parkbench.com/Springhill. So thanks again. Thanks for watching,
Thank
and have a
you.
great day.